Rett syndrome is a postnatal neurological disorder that most commonly affects young girls and occurs in 1 in 10,000 births.
At 18 months, Amanda started walking, and the day she started walking, she stopped talking. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was just like a switch was flipped, and she just didn't talk anymore.
Rett syndrome, to me, and at least how I've learned to understand it, is you lose control of your hands, you lose control of your walking, you lose control of everything. The girls are there because obviously they are. When we have communication devices, they can talk to us and we understand what's going on, but it's like they're trapped in this body that's not wanting to function the way they want it to.
I'm sure it was really hard because she didn't really know what was going on with her body. She cried a lot. In the middle of the night, she would wake up crying. There was no really consoling her. She would get upset and throw things around, and I had no idea what was going on. That's not anything I ever experienced with any of my other kids as far as, throwing temper tantrums. You can kind of calm your kid down. With this, I didn't know because I didn't know something was wrong with her. I would take her to the doctor, and the doctor would say, you know what, she's just kind of delayed. She'll catch up. She's okay. But obviously that wasn't the case.
I'd never heard of Rett syndrome before she was diagnosed. In my brain, I want to say I was like in the 5th grade. So it was like someone having anything was so far out of my mind. Everyone was normal in a sense. No one had anything that stopped them from doing what they wanted to do.
The doctor had also given me a couple of books to check out, and they were horrifying. It scared me to death. I mean, because it's all old, outdated information. A lot of the girls still weren't being diagnosed correctly, so it wasn't until they were older. There were just horrendous pictures of these girls, in their 20s that just were like completely misshapen and couldn't even hardly move, and it was very scary, seeing a lot of those pictures. So once I got onto rettsyndrome.org, it seemed a lot more positive. The girls are going to live a longer life. I'm reading these books, and in their 20s, these girls are dying, and that was horrifying to me to think I've only got so many years left with her, and then nothing. And I know that this is happening, kind of an impending doom.
All of a sudden, you're not as selfish anymore because you have to be caring about someone else constantly. That's really hard for a kid to get used to, because then it's like, okay, I want to go and do this. Well, we can't do that right now because Amanda's going through this, and it's like, oh yeah, it's not all about me anymore. And I don't think it ever was.
As a parent, you want to fix your kid. You don't want to believe that they're not fixable, I guess.
When I see my mom and dad and how they deal with it all, it's amazing.
I think we can get through it if we stick together. Like most of the events and stuff that I have been to have been so helpful, because as my own family, I feel like I'm on this island by myself, because like you said, I'm in the sea of all these people that basically have typical kids, and I'm out here on this island by myself going, she just does this thing, and I don't know why, but I know that's part of Rett syndrome. And I go to these events and I'm like, my kid does this, and somebody else is like, you know what, my daughter does the same thing. And it brings home a sense of community to me, and it helps me feel like, okay, I'm not the only one dealing with this. There are other people dealing with this. So I would say just helping out families, and then looking for a cure. Anything to make their life a little bit easier and a little bit better.
This one tiny, minute piece is gone, and all of a sudden, Rett syndrome.
Didn't I warn you not to? Didn't I warn you good? Maybe we couldn't